Many people believe that Drake's only loss in hip-hop was to Pusha T, but something that's often overlooked is the L that he took to Common. Now, I shouldn't really need to explain who Common is, so I'm going to keep this brief. The dude is a legend, highly regarded in the culture, definitely someone who has demonstrated time and time again that he's not just a great writer, he's a brilliant creator. And, you know, there's way more beefs to cover outside of Drake, so this will definitely be my last Drake video for a long time. I just don't want this to become like a Drake YouTube channel because this is not my intent for the channel. But this beef in particular, Common versus Drake, interesting beef, never talked about. So enjoy the video, like the video, and let's go. So
welcome to the channel, squad. Yes, sir, we are back and we are discussing the hip-hop beefs, one of Drake's only L's, if you ask me, guys, in my opinion. Some of y'all might not be aware of this battle, but let's get on down to it, guys. This is the beef between Drake and Common Sense.
beef, never talked about. So enjoy the video, like the video, and let's go. So given Common's status in hip hop, Drake was obviously a fan at one point, and I even found a tweet from 2011 where Drake posted Common's lyrics from The Sixth Sense.
I appreciate this moment in time. Ball players and actors be knowing my rhymes. It's like.
With all that said, just a few months after Drake's tweet, we get Common at the age of 40 throwing shots at a 24-year-old Drake on a song called Sweet.
If you ain't true.
There comes a time in every creator's life when they say,
I've got an idea for a t-shirt.
I have an idea for a poster.
Common goes into the record with a very aggressive tone, and he addresses soft, emotional rappers that sing.
You know where I'm from? Some hoe ass niggas singing all around me, man. La la la. You ain't motherfucking Frank Sinatra. Oh, little bitch.
Now, given the fact that Drake had exploded onto the scene by rapping and singing,
last name ever, first name greatest, I better find your loving.
People speculated that this record was about Drake. But at the end of the day, what really piqued people's speculation was this woman right here.
She's just the dominator.
Goodness me, it's just so intimidating. Absolutely brilliant, Serena Williams.
It was public knowledge that Common dated Serena Williams from 2007 until 2010. This was not a secret relationship by any stretch, and she even made an appearance in his music video for Want You.
Able to cry, I never been good.
However, the two parted ways in April of 2010, and just 6 months later, Drake is found playing tennis with her, attending her games, kissing her, and sending tweets like this one. At Serena.
Always leave it to be the woman, guys. Now, these guys are fighting over Serena Williams. Serena Williams? Come on, guys. Serena, who, keep in mind, she don't even look like this today, guys. Like, damn. What kind of demons was Serena fighting? And y'all sitting there breaking y'all neck fighting over this woman. Y'all hit that like button. In the top right part of the screen is 3 dots. Click into them 3 dots and hit that like button.
Serena Williams, I cannot wait to put it on you and make you sweat during our match this weekend. Drake was also quoted in another interview as saying, I really, really love and care for Serena Williams. She's incredible. That's someone I'm proud to say I know. She's definitely in my life and I'm in her life. It's great to watch her play tennis. Very impressive. I mean, Common probably didn't feel very good about this. I mean, we've all been heartbroken at least once. However, when Common was asked about the Sweet record, he denied that it was about Drake and claimed that it wasn't about anyone in particular.
They said it was either for Lil Wayne or Drake. Was it aimed at either one of them in particular?
Nah, first of all, I think Lil Wayne is definitely a dope rapper. See, and Drake is a talented artist too. But like I said, if whoever does feel it, they feel it. That's hip hop.
But to me and everybody else, we knew this was about Drake. And Drake also felt the exact same way because just 5 weeks after the Sweet record was released, he essentially called Common out while performing at one of his shows.
I will never stop doing this for y'all. I don't give a if you got something to say to me, say it to my motherfucking face, nigga. Just cause I sing, I'm not no bitch. So if you got something to say, I'm right here.
But hold on, wait a minute. Something big dawned on me while editing this video. Remember Drake's 2011 tweet when he quoted Common's lyrics? I initially thought that Drake was paying homage, but when I look at this thing closer, it's clear to me that Drake wasn't paying homage at all. He was trolling him. Drake is spotted for the first time with Serena in August of 2011. He quotes Common's lyrics on Twitter just 1 month later while he's actively dating his ex, and 2 months later, Common releases the Sweet record. Now, what makes this tweet a clear troll, in my opinion, is the line, "Ball players and actors be knowing my rhymes." Ball players could really be an easy substitute for any athlete, and given the fact that Drake was dating Serena, a professional tennis player, I feel like he was using Common's own lyrics to antagonize him. Looking back on this now, I don't think it's too far-fetched to believe that this tweet could have been part of the reason why Common dissed Drake in the first place. And no, Drake didn't say Common's name during that live show rant, but everybody knew it was about Common. And it was at this point where Common finally admitted that the record Sweet was indeed about Drake all along.
Now you said this is towards Drake and then whoever else wanted?
Yeah, I mean, the verses is like about me, but then, you know, when you hear some of the stuff on the chorus, it's like, you can't help but think about, dude, I guess that, and that's what he felt like. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he fit in that category. He already embraced it, so wear it.
And it was on that same day where Drake's producer 40, someone that we never hear from when it comes to any sort of conflict, took to Twitter to call out Common. At Common, I remember being called a bitch in grade 9 because I had your CD. Good thing I also had 456 by Cool G Rap on me. Now that's real. After One Day It All Makes Sense came out, I spent months arguing whether or not Common was hip-hop. Everyone was saying it was too R&B. 40's pretty much saying that, you know, Common is not the best guy to really call anybody sweet. And 40 wasn't really wrong about Common. Yes, he's from Chicago, but the dude is not looked at as being the pinnacle of masculinity by any stretch.
And that is a whole fact. That is a whole fact. So this was fitting to be a good one from jump, guys. This was fitting to be a great one from jump.
Dude is a great MC, but he's no Beanie Siegel. I mean, take a look at his new book, for an example. And Then We Rise, A Guide to Loving and Taking Care of Self. He's just not that hard of a dude, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just no one looks at Common like a street thug. They don't. However, the soft and emotional guy known as Drake was about to shock everybody by taking shots at Common on Rick Ross's Stay Schemin'.
It bothers me when the guards get to acting like the bras.
So right off rip, Drake acknowledges Common as being respected in hip-hop when he refers to him as being a god, but goes on to state that it bothers him to see someone of such stature carry himself out like a female. Drake also uses the word acting as a play on words to reference Common's acting career, which was really just getting started at the time.
That's why I see no need to compete with niggas like y'all. I just ask that when you see me, you speak up, nigga, that's all.
Drake continues to keep that same exact energy that he put out during his live show when he asked Common to say something to his face.
Back when if a nigga reached, it was for the weapon. Nowadays, niggas reach just to sell a record.
Drake accuses Common of using his name to sell an album, as the song Sweet was indeed used as a promo for Common's upcoming project. Possibly she told Drake some things about Common that may have been personal.
I'm just hitting my pinnacle, you and pussy identical. You like the fucking finish line, we can't wait to run into you.
Drake.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'm going to play that part back, guys. I told y'all about pillow talking with these raggedy chicks that do not know themselves, y'all.
Sweet was indeed used as a promo for Common's upcoming project, The Dreamer, The Believer.
Shorty wanna tell me secrets about a rap nigga. I tell that bitch it's more attractive when you hold it down.
This could potentially be a reference to Common's relationship with Serena, where possibly she told Drake some things about Common that may have been personal.
I'm just hitting my pinnacle, you and pussy identical. You like the fucking finish line, we can't wait to run into you.
Drake lets it be known that he's in his prime, Common is old news, and that he can't wait to see him face to face. And this was really off-brand for Drake at the time, to be going at Common and OG on wax. Like, it just, people were shocked that he did this. However, that was all the ammo that Common needed, as he dropped an actual diss verse over the same beat.
Guys, I find it funny that as we speak right now, Rick Ross is mentioning how he predicted Drake was a snake when they did this song right here. So Rick Ross was in the stew, you know what I mean? Seeing Drake be sneaky and sneak this Common Sense, y'all. You know what I mean? Now Drake and Rick Ross got beef, and we gonna get to that one. We definitely gonna get to that, but we might do that one next. You know what I mean? Because now Rick Ross and Drake going at it. That one seemed a little fixed, though. They might as well come out with a double, with an album together. But this one seemed a little fixed. I don't know about y'all. But let's get back to the Common versus Drake joint.
My motto is Chicago, bitch. Everybody know you sweet. What the problem is? Don't play dumb. I'm the one that acknowledged it. Son of a bitch, I imagine what your father is.
So right off rip, Common references Drake's track The Motto by letting him know that he's from Chicago, a place that's far from soft. He then references his track Sweet and lets Drake know that it's no secret that he's soft. Everyone knows it. He's just the one that went on record to say it. In the last line, he calls Drake a bitch while also calling his mother a bitch, and he wonders how big of a bitch Drake's dad must be. And Drake is really close with his mom, so, you know, this guy's calling her a bitch. That should be, this here alone should be enough for him to go. This should be war.
She said, how you make your opponent the rapper of the moment, his style, he don't own it.
Common responds back to Drake's claims that he's been using his name to get attention for his album, and he lets it be known that Drake is a biter and he has no style of his own. At the time, this was a very common complaint about Drake, as people claim that he stole his style from Big Sean and Fonte.
And to say that Fonte is a good rapper would be offensive to me, because he's probably one of the best rappers of all time, in my opinion.
Acting all hard when he hardly like that. You gon' mess around and make me catch a body like that.
Common claimed that Drake started off as being really soft, and then he switched up and started acting hard out of nowhere. And he referenced Drake's lyrics from the song Headlines, which was one of the first videos where Drake portrayed more of a hard persona.
Hey, you gon' make someone around me catch a body like that. No, don't do it.
So in Drake's verse, he claims that someone around him will catch a body, whereas in Common's verse, he uses the exact same number of syllables to say that it's going to be Drake that makes him catch a body.
Don't do it, cause every song you make, Joe, is really whole music. I heard you said you wasn't a bitch cause you sing. You a bitch cause you cling like a bitch that's 18.
Common brings it back to Drake's moment on stage when he claimed that he wasn't soft for singing, and Common claimed that Drake is a bitch because he falls in love with a different woman every other month. And look, I don't know what Drake's approach is to women, but it's been working for him. I mean, the guy's catalog is pretty impressive. He's been pretty much smashing whoever he wants since.
Yeah, he can smash whoever he want, but he gonna hold this L right here, cause that boy Common killed him. He ripped him. Remember, it don't matter about how many your stable of retarded hoes you got running behind you. It don't matter about that when we talking about rap and hip hop. You know what I mean? It matters about raps and lyrics and punchlines, hooks, beats. Yeah. He got killed right there. That boy, whoo, on his own beat.
He came into the game.
Can't say my name, but rap about a nigga's wife. You so black and white trying to live a nigga's life.
Common makes reference to Drake's line about Kobe's wife on Stay Schemin', and he reminds Drake of his upbringing in the suburbs, where he more or less grew up in a white neighborhood, far from anything that he was beginning to portray.
I'm taking too long with this amateur guy. You ain't wetting nobody, nigga. You Canada dry.
Common doesn't look at Drake as being on his level or as someone even worth entertaining, and continues with the narrative that Drake has never hurt anybody being from Canada. Everybody really went nuts over the Canada Dry line, and to me, I'm a battle rap guy, so to me this is a very standard punchline, but it was like, you know, you do one of these. The ending of the track is really clever because Common uses the Destiny's Child record Say My Name to beg Drake to say his name.
Make no mistake, I'm talking to Drake.
Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Better say my name.
So let's just run through this. Common drops a full verse dissing Drake, calls him out by name, begs him to respond, calls his mom a bitch, calls his dad a bitch. There's tons of material to work with here that would warrant a response. Drake says nothing. And just...
Yo, Zone, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we could talk on that right now. That battle that you talking on, while that battle was going on, Tupac was locked up, guys. Yes, he was. He was locked up watching that same battle, watching it. And that's what gave him the idea to start the East Coast, West Coast beef with Biggie. He asked Biggie to be down with it, and Biggie just was, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And Pac just went ahead and did it on his own, guys. But it stemmed from that battle right there, the Ice Cube versus Common. And he did give Common, Common gave Ice Cube that work.
2 months later, the two were spotted at the NBA All-Star game, and the whole thing was now confirmed to be over.
It was all in the art of hip hop, but it's kind of over now. It's over. So, but you know, it was all in the art of hip hop.
And it will be years and years later where we find out why Common dissed Drake in the first place.
At that time, I think it was the Drake Serena situation. I didn't know what was going on with that. Unfortunately, the war might have been over a girl, even though at the time I never said that.
And I understand that women can make us do fucked up shit, but for this guy to put out a whole record where the premise behind it is to call Drake soft and emotional, when really deep down he was just insecure over his ex, like, to me, there's nothing more sweeter than what he did here. Now, I hear people all the time state that Drake didn't take an L to Pusha T. I hear things like, he's more successful, Drake sold more albums, he didn't take an L. And to me, it's clear that these people do not understand how a rap beef actually works, so allow me to clarify. To win a rap beef, you need to rap. When Pusha T dropped the story of Adidon and Drake didn't respond by rapping, this is indeed an L. All the subliminal shots that you hear Drake throw at Pusha thereafter really don't mean anything until he calls him out by name, and the situation with Common is no different. Common gave Drake countless reasons to warrant a response, and we didn't get one. He called Drake out by name, he called his mother a bitch, he claimed Drake stole his style, he mocked his upbringing, he begged Drake to respond, and Drake did nothing. Therefore, this is indeed another L. Now let's just say...
All right. I know we got a lot of Drake fans. I know how Drake and LeBron, know how y'all feel about Drake and LeBron in the community. I know y'all love them boys, but that is an L, all right? I don't care what you want to believe. The boy took an L on that one. That's what we came here to, that's what the title read today, guys. Drake first L.
Drake did respond. Well, now we have two diss records. We can figure out amongst the fans who got one up on the other, but if he doesn't respond at all, especially after throwing subliminal shots, it's an L. This is not really debatable. It's kind of these are like cardinal rules of rap, right? Like you can't win a rap beef if you don't rap. It's pretty simple.
The guy did a good job. He did a good job.
As always, salute. Salute to What Is the Dirt, man. Always doing a great job on the breakdowns. But guys, we talked a lot about Drake and his subliminals. Let's get into that real quick, guys. Let's talk about 10 of his most lethal subliminal disses, and we're going to explain it and break them down.
The good old sneak diss has become synonymous in hip-hop. Rather than call your opponent out directly, do it in a slick way to get your message across. MCs like Jay-Z truly mastered the art of doing this, and he would influence upcoming rappers like Drake. And that's what this video is about. We're going to take 10 sneak disses from Drake, and we're going to break them down. Track 1, Do Not Disturb.
You overnight celebrity, you one day star. Swear I told you that I'm in this bitch for eternity.
In this one, Drake takes a shot at fellow Toronto artist Tory Lanez, and for such few words, there's a lot packed into this. Drake starts out by calling Tory an overnight celebrity, alluding to the fact that Tory's career was really just getting started. He then calls Tory a one-day star, and not only is Tory's government name Daystar Peterson, but he also had a track called One Day. Drake then puts great emphasis on the words I Told You, which was the name of Tory's debut album. Now, the reason why Drake dissed him in the first place was all brought on by Tory himself. Tory spent a good portion of his career begging for Drake's attention, and when he didn't get it, he started dissing. Now, there's a good chance that Drake never expected Tory's career to get as big as it did, and he certainly didn't want to shine any sort of light on his career, so he went with a subliminal shot instead. Track 2, No Lie.
Oh, that look like what's her name? Chances are it is what's her name.
In this one, Drake had a subliminal shot for none other than Rihanna. Right off rip, Drake makes reference to their collaborative track, What's My Name? He continues on to say that she was basically a hit and run, fucking Chuck type of girl.
Chances are she was acting up, then I fucked her once and never fucked again.
Drake then makes the reference that he doesn't really care about the quality of her star power, and that in his eyes, she's just a regular chick.
Much like most men, especially us men with knowledge and wisdom and riches and wealth, we don't care about women and modern women and their success. That's not what it's about. It's about how you carry yourself. So this is why you see those women with all the degrees and all the money. They're single by choice. That's why.
He gets this across by pointing out that even though she has Grammys, which she had 5 at the time, he wasn't really that impressed.
She could have a Grammy, I still treat her ass like a nominee.
He ends off the line by saying that fucking her one time was more than enough for him.
Just need to know what that pussy like, so one time is fine with me.
Which is a huge crock of shit, because Drake is still to this day making records about Rihanna like a decade later. Track 3, 6 God.
You was popping back when Usher wore you changed. Goddamn, you changed.
In this one, Drake takes a shot at Southern OG Ludacris. Drake's tension with Luda goes way back to 2009, when Drake claimed that Ludacris was stealing flows. On 6 God, Drake alludes to the fact that Ludacris has fallen off and hasn't been seen much since his feature on Usher's big track, Yeah.
So give me the rhythm and it'll be off with their clothes.
Track 4, I'm on one.
I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take it.
Back in 2011, Kanye and Jay-Z announced that they were doing a joint album called Watch the Throne. Drake seemed to believe that they stole that idea, as there were plans made for a joint Drake and Lil Wayne project.
No, that we still got to do that album.
Yes, you still got to do that
Some
album.
other guys are coming out with the album too. There's 2 other guys that are coming out
Okay.
together. 2 other rappers that are coming out with an album together. I don't know where they got that idea, but
Look, Drake, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, bro, but you weren't the first person to come up with the idea of a fucking joint album. This has been a concept in music for a really long time now. In the line, Drake sends a shot at Jay-Z and Kanye to state that the throne is his for the taking and that he's coming for the #1 spot. I respect it because he did what he said he was going to do. I mean, in my opinion, at one point, Drake did take the throne. He did have it. Track 5, Club Paradise.
Couple artists got words for me, that's never fun. They say it's on when they see me that they don't ever come.
This line is directed at Philly legend Beanie Siegel. Beanie felt like Jay-Z was sending shots on Drake's record Light Me Up and threatened to slap Drake when he saw him.
On Drake and them records, and I'm gonna tell y'all a little fucking something. Y'all keep letting that nigga get on y'all records and pop shit, I'm gonna start coming at y'all little niggas. Smack the shit out of Drake, bitch ass, all y'all niggas.
In the line, Drake states that most of these rappers are full of shit, They talk a big game, but they have more bark than bite.
I'm never scared, they never real, I never run. When all is said and done, more is always said and done.
Drake claims that he's not afraid of Beanie's threats and claims that Beanie is just talking and really won't do shit. I mean,
now, I could almost guarantee you if he saw Beanie Siegel, he crossing the street. I can almost guarantee you that. And that's the problem with social media and this internet era, yo. It allows people to hide behind them Twitter fingers and the monitors and screens and just blow their head up. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, if there's one rapper who's gonna, if he's got the opportunity to slap the shit out of you and he's gonna do it, it'd be Beanie Siegel. Track 6, Draft Day.
Just hits, no misses, that's for the married folks.
In this one, Drake takes a shot at Jay-Z. At the time, Drake had some disrespectful comments about Hov in a Rolling Stone interview. It's like Hov can't drop bars these days without at least 4 art references. I'd love to collect art at some point, but I think the whole rap art world thing is getting kind of corny. And it was due to those remarks that Jay-Z dropped the freestyle dissing Drake.
Sorry, Mr. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about shit that I really bought.
So I don't know if you caught that, but he calls him Mrs. Drizzy. And that's what Drake alluded to on Draft Day when he says just hits, no misses. That's for the married folk. At the time,
that was a slick line. And hell yeah, Diddy slapped him up for that beat. It was one of them beats. Was it what was it? Was it 0 to 100? Real quick. That's what it was. 0 to 100 real quick. That was gonna be a Bad Boy beat. Puff Daddy wanted that beat. Puffy slapped him up for that beat right there. There was a beat that Puffy slapped him up. That was supposed to be for Puff. And we're going to talk about that. In fact, we're going to break. Man, you on point. Salute Human Nature 1117. You on point. We're going to talk about that. It was over a beat.
Hov was getting a lot of mixed reviews on his Magna Carta album, where a lot of people didn't like it. After that album, many people were saying that it was time for Jay-Z to retire, and Drake makes it clear that he doesn't have any issues making hits. This is honestly the coolest thing that I've received on this channel. Exter sent me their Parliament wallet in Safano Brown. I've been using it for a couple weeks now, and I gotta say I'm extremely impressed with this wallet. I was honestly more than happy to toss my old bulky wallet away and replace it with this thin, hot protection so people can't like steal your data and your card numbers, and which does actually happen. And you can get up to 25% off Exter wallets by using my code What's the Dirt. Links to Exter will be in the description of this video. And thanks to Exter again for sponsoring my channel. Track 7, 6 p.m. in New York.
It's so childish calling my name on a world stage. You need to act your age and not your girl's age.
This line is directed at Tyga and his relationship with his much younger girlfriend, Kylie Jenner. In a Vibe magazine, Tyga took shots at Drake saying, "I don't really get along with Drake. I don't like Drake as a person. He's just fake to me." And this will be what Drake meant when he said, "Calling my name on the world stage."
If you're not making $158,000 per year, but you'd like to.
Track 8, Summer 16.
All you boys in the new Toronto want to be me a little.
This line is another shot at Tory Lanez, who had released a mixtape called The New Toronto. Tory would then remix Drake's song Controlla, and in terms of creating a really dope Caribbean-style song, he did a far better job with this beat than Drake.
No way for the thing, she a push on it, but I'm on it, shorty up on it, come rock it on it, baby, I'm on it.
And Drake seemingly wasn't impressed with Tory's use of the beat, and while performing Summer 16 at a live show, he changed the lyrics to that line to make it even more obvious.
But hold up, I ain't even gonna hold you, Drake. That boy Tory, he took your beat and he did something special to that joint right there. That joint, his version was in the clubs. His version was in these streets, boy. His version did something to them females, boy.
All you boys want fake control, wanna be me a little.
So instead of going, "All you boys in the New Toronto," he switches it to, "All you boys doing fake Controlla." Track 9, Can't Have Everything.
Finally got my mind in a free state. Niggas try to serve me up a cheesesteak. I gave them back a clean place.
Long after Drake put Meek in his place with back-to-back, the subliminal shots continued, and on this track, he dishes out another one. He starts out the line by saying that he's finally got his mind in a free state, which is a reference to Meek's state of Philadelphia, which was the first state to pass a law that abolished slavery. He then mentions how dudes tried to serve him up a cheesesteak, which is obviously a well-known Philadelphia sandwich. He ends off the line to say that he gave him back a clean plate, alluding to how he ate Meek alive when it came to this beef. Y'all dudes is arrogant. Y'all stay at the Sheridan. Oh, that shit's embarrassing. Drake fucking smoked that record. Track 10, Used To.
Real quick, man, you couldn't have hated that. Let's be real, nigga, you couldn't have made it that. Woo!
This line is a shot for none other than P. Diddy. Diddy was pissed off over the 0 to 100 beat and claimed that he had it first and that Drake stole it. The whole thing allegedly even sparked a scuffle between the two outside of a nightclub in Miami. Drake starts off the line by saying real quick, which is a reference to the 0 to 100 track.
We go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Drake goes on to say you couldn't have hated that, alluding to how he took the beat and made it a banger. He ends off the line to say, let's be real, you couldn't have made it that, alluding to how if P. Diddy had the beat, it would have basically went to waste, as there's no way he could have made an anthem like Drake did. And look, I know there's a lot more subliminals to cover, but we already did the Kendrick video with all those disses. Then there's the Pusha shit, like which tons of good subliminals. But again, so many people have covered that on YouTube. I don't think I'm going to do it because I like to try and find topics that are less common. Like in this case, I feel like a lot of these subliminals I just showed you guys are less common ones than what's on YouTube.
The guy did a good job. He did a good job with that.
It came across my feed.
Good.
As always, he did a good job. As always, he did a great, fantastic job. Now, let's move it right along. Guys, let's move it right along. Let's keep moving. Let's go to every time Drake stole someone's girl and rapped about it, because that's what Drake be beefing over. Every time Drake get one of these battles, these hip-hop battles, it's over a girl. It's over a girl. Oh, man, that girl, Karuchi, she must got some good coochie. Her name rhymed with coochie. She must got some good coochie because she's all over the place. We're gonna get on that one too. I just heard that one break. That's the Chris Brown versus Quavo joint. God damn. They just swapping these girls in the industry. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that one too later today. I'll be goddamn, yo. This is a hell of a hip-hop rap ever right here, yo. 5,000 salute to you. He said, this is the soft rap ever. You ain't never lied, man. So emotional. So they just get their emotions hurt, go inside the booth and write about bitches. Wow. Yo, this nigga right here gonna get killed, bro. This nigga gonna lose his life, bro. All this adultery, sir. This is all adultery. And the bitches ain't no good, yo. Goddamn Drake, man. Drake, you a busy nigga. Salute to Drake, because you, through the midst of all of this, you still got time to put out music. Hit music at that. Goddamn. Sheesh.
Drake.
Messing around with Drake, who knows what's going to happen next, man. The nigga a plant. He got the machine behind him. You know what I mean? He's definitely the ops, y'all. So y'all stop fucking around with this boy Drake. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane. Focus on your paper. Focus on your bag. You know what I mean? Let's stop all this battling, beef and shit. Let's start working together, bro. Because you going up against a machine when you going up against Drake, guys. I hope y'all was entertained. I hope y'all got all the juice that y'all needed for this afternoon. I'll see y'all later, y'all. On y'all way out, hit that like button. Appreciate y'all.